Hey, guess what? It's another day, and we're on the mountain working. It's a big day, as always.
Of course it's a big day.
Yeah.
Who shows up and says it's going to be a little day today? Hold on tight.
Nobody says that.
No.
So today we're going to grout the tile that we laid yesterday. There's light fixtures going in, which look great.
Yep.
And we're going to do the prep work and start laying the engineered flooring upstairs. And
I can't wait.
Then we're going to do it downstairs if we get all that done. We just got to start doing it, so let's start doing it.
Nothing else to it. Tape's still there. That's a good sign. Jason, will you take that tape down for me? That's one way to do it. Jason's doing a very important job checking for any of the thin set that's squeezed out between the tiles. We really got to make sure to rake that out, and we're going to vacuum in preparation for grout. Right here at the tub, we are going to grout caulk that with this biscuit colored grout caulk along the edge of the tub, because this tub is fiberglass or something and it's maybe a little flexible. If it flexes, regular grout, which is not flexible, will crack and it'll look bad.
In case there was any question about it, our decision to do our tiling before the hardwood floors was intentional. Tiling is super messy, from the thin set to the grouting. Every bit of it causes a mess. We don't want to be tracking grout and thin set across nice hardwood floors if we can help it. So if we can, we always choose to do that first.
Doing this grout is time-sensitive work. It's like doing concrete. You got to keep an eye on it and sort of keep a little bit ahead. And what I mean by that is don't let it set too fast in front of you. If it gets too hard, you're gonna work really a lot to get it cleaned off of there. If you're too early though, you risk the chance of washing out the color with too much water in your sponge, or removing too much grout, making your grout joints too deep. So it's good to be right on time. I don't really know how to tell you what right on time is, but just keep an eye on it. I don't know if you can tell in the time lapse, but I'm using a little bit of extra grout that's on the tiles there to fill in little voids, because as I'm sponging my first sponge across there to clean, I'm noticing a few small spots that didn't get filled, so I just take some extra grout that's right there beside it and I just put it in the void with my hand and just keep sponging. I don't want to lie to everybody and say that doing tile is satisfying in any way.
I would agree.
But if there was something satisfying about it, it's doing what I'm doing now. Wiping it down for the last time. I'm actually using this sponge to shape the concave shape of the grout there. And I'm doing each line individually, practically, so that I know each one is done perfectly. It's like doing that tooling on your block wall when you're laying concrete blocks and you're giving it that final swipe. There's a little tiny bit of satisfaction to be found.
A little bit of artistry
in that.
We've got the tile grouted.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie did that. We have done some prep work on the subfloor by planing down some of the high spots with a planer. And now we're going to start gluing and nailing this engineered hardwood floor. And what was the biggest problem we had last time we did this?
Hoses in the glue.
Hoses in the glue. Air hoses dragging through the glue, then smutzing it everywhere.
Terrible.
And it's like insanity. You got glue everywhere on a nice floor. So today we're doing something different.
Yes.
What are we doing?
We're using
Cordless. And this guy here is specially made for this size of floor we're using, the thickness. And Johnny Brook, my friend on Crafted Workshop, is letting us borrow this today. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you,
So
Johnny.
we're not going to lose our minds today, hopefully. So Ray's biggest problem last time was also with the glue.
Yeah.
He got the glue in his beard. So today, I don't know, is this going to do...
beard cap.
You're going to
I
feel...
just gotta find somewhere to keep it attached.
I took all the boxes.
Beautiful.
I can't have that glue in here.
I just got to get used to it. That's all.
We'll start it off right with a real pro tip about laying this
right.
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know I'm gonna get cut off on about a quarter of the way through talking, so I'm gonna condense. We need this flooring to run parallel to the long part of the house. We need it to be parallel to the walls. Now, we need to start it the exact width off the wall. Wall to wall in the whole house off of something that could be. And then you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that you got it parallel to the house. See?
That is supposed to be short.
That'll happen in editing.
All right, rewind. In layman's terms, what he said was we measured off the framing, the width of the boards, plus a 1/2 inch, so that there's a space, you know, between the boards and the framing. Then we checked off of our plywood seam to that line, what that was, and then we measured it on the other end of the house and made a mark so we could chalk a straight line.
So simple.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. So laying this floor is about a 3-man job. We've got someone cutting, McGillicuddy. We got someone doing the glue.
That's Glue Hefner.
All right, and then we got a nail guy, Shooter Gavin.
I guess that's me.
Bunch of famous people doing hardwood here.
That's what you are, Ray.
Glue Hefner.
You're Glue Hefner.
First board. The first plank. Walk the plank, matey.
We've got a cut station set up on this little work table upstairs, so we don't have to go up and down the stairs as we're working up here. This is also from Johnny Brook. He let us borrow his super lightweight small chop saw because I only have giant, like 50-pound chop saws, and I'm too lazy to load them up. If you're wondering, this glue acts as the vapor barrier as well as an adhesive, so there's no tar paper like you normally see under hardwood. Hey, congratulations, by the way, on the 20,000 subscribers.
Thank you, Bub.
Great
Appreciate
job.
that.
Yeah.
All
You
because
deserve
of
it.
you.
No, y'all are good. Good stuff.
Thanks, man.
We're putting the glue down one row at a time because otherwise, if you have a bunch of glue laid out, you're very likely to track all through it and drag it everywhere. And also, very importantly, we're leaving a gap around all of the framing on the edges of the hardwood. And we're going for at least a 1/2 inch or more, so that this does have a little room to expand and contract. Generally speaking, this engineered floor will not expand and contract as much as your solid hardwood floors would, but you don't want to put it tight. You want to leave a little room. Something interesting we found out from the distributor of the flooring is that some of the flooring companies, even the big ones, are not making solid hardwood anymore, only engineered.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that till he told me.
I wonder if it's a popularity thing.
I don't know. One thing is you can get really wide plank
Yeah.
floors with engineered, and with solid hardwood, probably, 3 1/4 is about as wide as you want to go to avoid cupping and then also gapping,
Yeah,
the expansion and contraction.
it's a big problem.
It is a problem, and with the engineered, since they have alternating kind of layers of plywood, it's very stable, and you can get a lot wider plank floor up to, probably a foot wide with very little movement, and people like the wide plank. So that may
Wide
be...
plank is a thing now.
Yeah, it is. So you can't sand and refinish this a dozen times like a solid floor because it's only, an 1/8 inch or so of solid wood on top. But
Yeah.
it is a good hard finish on it. Hickory is a good hard wood to start with. So
It looks good.
Yeah, even if you can just refinish it 1 or 2 times, I think you're still fine. So just some thoughts on flooring. If you were wondering, that's what we know. How's it going, Glue Lewis?
And everybody's in my way.
Gluey Lewis in the news.
I can't tell you guys how hard I'm trying to stay out of this glue, and still, I got it on me with chisel. It's probably covered. Ray's the only person without glue on him somehow.
And he's the glue guy.
I don't know how. But it's just everywhere. It's on my foot, and I'm really trying hard.
19, wait.
Is the glue like jumping from there onto the wood? What's it doing? What? I do have a big blob right there. It's looking good, I think. Yeah.
It is. I was surprised actually to see the variation in the color of these boards. For a minute I thought, whoa, we got 2 different kinds of wood here. But they're all mixed in with each box, so...
It does look good.
Yeah.
And these wide planks do go fairly quickly compared to narrow, like 2 1/4 wood floors.
2 1/4 would
done
be
a lot of
slow.
those, and it is slow. It's depressing. When the beater block fails, get for the pry bar. Oh man, I got schmutz. Keep coming, keep coming.
2 feet down off the ceiling?
No, probably.
I do even with that bar on the
Yeah, I think even with the bars on the windows, so up about another 8 inches maybe. I think that's pretty nice. Here's something I forgot to do. Send the kitchen layout to the Stone Top guys. I told the lady I would like 2 weeks ago, but then I forgot because I was driving when I talked to her. And they made a few changes from the plans, like the real plans. So I just went in here and sketched it all up real fast on a sheet of paper, sent it over, and hopefully we didn't lose our spot in line.
It's time to fit this last piece of wood flooring up to the sluter strip on the tile. Now, normally if this was a wood floor, you would want to leave a bit more of a gap, but since this is glued down and it won't really expand and contract, I'm going to hold it short only by about 1/16 of an inch. A little trick that I like to do on these pieces is I back bevel my cut with a saw that's 45 degrees back cut, and on the face of the board I cut it about 1/8 of an inch wider than I want, and I cut it with a skill saw. So my cut was not perfectly straight. But what I do that's important is I hand plane the edge until I get my fit. So what I'll do is I'll hand plane it a few times, I'll get it fitted here, and I'll check. And that way I can get a very precise fit, and I can do it slowly. I can remove material slowly and carefully and precisely off the edge until I get the exact fit that I like, and then I'm going to glue this joker down and shoot it with some nails.
On the mountain putting down floors. It's always fun. It's always tiring, actually. We're gonna get back to it in the morning. Tomorrow? Are you coming in?
Depends on how I feel in the morning. Why are we doing this floor thing again?